You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shemaiah Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shemaiah Reed.
Welcome back to I Am Refocused Radio. Once again, we are here today, and on this Sunday morning, we are back again with another episode. We have a special guest. He cleared some time off his calendar to be on the show today. It's John Jubilee. He's founder of Energized Health and America's foremost expert on cellular hydration. Over 25 years ago, he was living in a different space, though. As a successful banker career, he had some adversity, but he overcame that. He has an amazing story that he's going to help drive home what is important. That's why we do this show. Help you refocus on your why, help you refocus on your purpose. But let me cut right to the chase, because he has an amazing website that you can go to, bookmark it. It's energizedhealth.com. But without further ado, I just want to welcome John to the show. Say, first of all, how you doing, sir?
Well, excellent. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
I'm honored to have you on, man. You have a story that takes us back to 1998, but I didn't want to put all that in the intro, so I'm going to let you do the honors. Tell us a little bit about your backstory, man.
Yeah, well, probably like a lot of Americans today, about 80% of us are 30 pounds or more overweight. And I definitely was in that category. I could definitely play Santa Claus at Christmas. But the worst part was I was bone on bone in both my knees, and every step of my life was a step of pain. So anyone out there with hip pain or joint pain, they know what I'm talking about. It feels like you're getting stabbed with a knitting needle every time you take one step. Just brutally painful, just like a torturous way to be living. And I had high blood pressure, I had hypertension, but the most frustrating part was I really tried stuff. Like I really tried for 10 solid years of the keto diet and the no carb, low carb, no sugar, Weight Watcher, Jenny Craig, supplements, training programs. You name it, gym membership. I tried it all. And here's what I learned. Everything works for a minute. Right. It works for a minute, but nothing was sustainable. So I had a moment, though. One Saturday morning, I get up to go out in the backyard to throw the football with my boys, and I'm out there about 15 minutes, maybe 12, but I'll just say 15 to round it up a little bit. About 15 minutes, and I'm in so much pain, I can't take it. I have to go back in the house. So I go back in the house, I plop down on the couch, and I have this moment of thinking, oh my word, am I going to be the couch potato dad? Am I couch potato dad? Like I can't even, I can't even do anything with my own kids. I can't play with my kids. And then I see this picture of myself. How many of you guys have ever done this? You see a picture of yourself and you can't believe that's you. I look so much better in my mind. You know what I'm saying? like I looked way better in my own mind. And I'm thinking, have I really let myself go, or have I gone that far downhill just because I'm in pain in my knees? So that was my wake up call. Like I have to find something different. So in that frustration, I went and researched thousands of pages of science, medical studies, peer-reviewed studies. And amazingly, I found two revelations. There was two revelations. Number one was the body is just a bag of water and cells. That's pretty much all we are. We're just a big bag of water and cells, and about 37 trillion cells in there, by the way. So everything is made out of cells inside of us. And then I realized the way to make a cell healthy is to get hydration inside the cell. That's called intercellular, or intra is the scientific name, intercellular hydration though. And we're all drinking more water, right? We've all heard that. Drink more water, drink more water. We're all drinking more water, but all that means is we're all going to the bathroom more because that water is just going straight through us. It's going straight into the toilet. because the cell is as hard as a glass marble. They're hard like glass marbles. They got two membranes around them, and the older we get, the more stress we have, oxidation, they get harder and harder and harder. And none of that hydration's getting in there. So those are my two revelations. And so in that, I created a scientific protocol for myself. I was a banker, by the way, and I was a super successful banker, and thank God I wore suits every day, because that'll cover up 30 pounds of fat really good, putting your suit jacket on. But when I discovered that if I created the certain intervals and sequences and steps, which there's 12, by the way, there's 12 steps that I created for myself. 88 days is a cellular cycle of the human body. And when I did this, the hydration got inside the cells. Now, intracellular hydration is a measurable metric. It's more important than your blood pressure. It's more important than your cholesterol, your triglycerides, your A1C. The most important health metric of us as a human is our intercellular hydration, because we're mostly water. And yet, how many of us have ever measured our intercellular hydration? I had never done it. And back then in 1997, 98, it cost $11,000 for the device to measure it. But I bought it because I thought, I know this is the most important health metric. I have to know this. And take a guess how low I was. It's like if you checked your oil and you were 1 quart low or 2 quarts low. Take a guess how low I was on hydration. Pounds.
Or scary low.
20 pounds. How can a human be 20 pounds low? That's almost a gallon of water weighs 8.3 pounds. I was almost 3 gallons low inside my cells. But as I began this scientific protocol, my life just began to change and transform. Now, by the way, I didn't really care how I looked. I really did not. I just cared about how I felt. Was I healthy, and did I feel good? So I wasn't into the aesthetic thing. I wasn't trying to rip off my shirt and show everybody I have a 6-pack. No, I just wanted to get healthy from the inside out. And so my focus was health only. But guess what? There was a cool side effect. So I gained my 20 pounds of intercellular hydration. I lost 40 pounds of visceral and subcutaneous fat. But this was a crazy cool side effect. I also gained lean muscle mass. So like I never really looked as the way I look today. People think I look real athletic. But that was the side effect. I gained muscle, I gained hydration, and I lost visceral and subcutaneous fat. And then the good news is, for all of our audience, all of our listeners here, so for the next 11 years, I help people for free. So I was still a banker, but I had a lot of employees. I had a big team, so I was able to spend about 8 hours a day helping thousands of people do what I did. I put them on this 88-day protocol, and they were reversing diabetes and high blood pressure, diverticulitis and IBS and spinal stenosis, arthritis, migraine headaches, and all of them. 4 things happened to every person for 11 years. Every person gained their hydration. Every person gained lean muscle. Every person lost visceral and subcutaneous fat. And every person reversed whatever their medical issue was for 11 years. And at the end of that 11 years, a super famous guy, I'm not going to name drop who he was, but think about this. In 1998, he had 14 million followers, way before the internet was even a thing, right? But he had 14 million followers. But he sat me down and he just said, John Jubilee, you have to go full-time in health and wellness. You are going to change the world. He said, nobody knows what you know. And of course, I'm looking at him like, are you out of your mind? I'm one of the top 10 bankers in America. You want me to change my career, my 20-year career? He said, John, I'm telling you, no one knows what you know. You're going to change the world. You are going to make so many people healthy. He said, this is miraculous what you're doing for these people. And so I walked out of there. I said a simple prayer. I felt a confirmation from God that this was my calling in life. And so now for the next 18 years, the last 18 years, I've been doing this full time, have helped tens of thousands of people to get healthy at the cellular level.
That's amazing, man. Once again, just tune in, listen on Refocus Radio, watching us online or hearing us on radio. Talking to our special guest today, John Jubilee. Go to his website, energizedhealth.com. You kind of tied what you just said moments ago into my next question I was about to ask you. Not only have you helped transform so many lives, you have a 88-day transformation program that I want to dive into real quick. What does a typical transformation look like physically, emotionally, and even spiritually?
No, I really appreciate that question. And you really did ask the right question, because you cannot separate the mind, the body, and the spirit. They are absolutely connected. And that's why at Energized Health, one of the things we do is focus on all three. So a lot of us have cellular trauma. There's an ACE study. We can all take it. It's ACE. It's Adverse Childhood Experience Test. And it's just a 1 to 10. And you look at 10 things, and every one you have, you count 1 for it. I'm a 9, by the way. I had a very traumatic and dramatic childhood and upbringing. But no matter what your experiences are and what your cellular trauma is, there is a scientific way to evict cellular trauma from your cells, to get it out of your body. And that's why we have had hundreds and hundreds of people. They were alcoholics. I'm talking 20 and 30-year alcoholics, drug addicts, porn addicts, totally cold turkey, just stop whatever they were addicted to. Because when you get healthy at the cellular level, you are transformed in your mind, your body, and your spirit, and you lose the addictive behavior. It is eradicated from your life. It's evicted. So just picture this cellular trauma leaving the cell the same way. Hydration is like a river of living water. When you open up the cell from being hard as a glass marble to porous like a sponge, when that water is flowing through the sponge, it pushes out all the toxins, all the inflammation. That's why the disease reverses. But it also creates new neural pathways. The brain is 70% water. And at just 10% dehydration, we can lose half our brain function, half our neurotransmitters and neural synapses. So your brain, like if you're a business person or you need to use your mind to be alert, imagine doubling your brain power. This is physiologically what happens with cellular hydration. And again, it just so happens the side effects are, look at my skin. Some of you guys are listening to me on the radio, but I don't know if you know how old I am, but just tell your audience how old I look.
I would say mid 40s.
Yeah, I'm 65 years old.
Wow. Wait. How old?
65.
Wow. That's pretty good, man.
well, and listen, and the reason I'm sharing this is because your skin is an organ. So the only reason I look 20 years younger than I am, it's not because I don't have any injections. I'm all natural, no peptides, no testosterone. I have nothing but intercellular hydration. But every day people think I look 20 years younger than I am. And I just tell them it's just because I'm a grape, not a raisin. Right? The only difference between a grape and a raisin is what? Hydration, right? And so the beautiful thing is, though, we can really get healthy in our mind, our body, and our spirit. That is the real secret. That is the ultimate biohack of reverse aging. And I have not been sick for 30 years. You cannot make a healthy cell sick. So the beautiful thing is you get to be high energy, full power, full strength. You get all that, but the most important thing is you're healthy. You're healthy. You feel amazing. And I tell people, look, nothing tastes as good as feeling great, right? Nothing tastes as good as feeling great. So it's amazing, though, that I used to be a sugar addict. Any fellow sugar addicts out there, I would eat those Krispy Kreme donuts, man, at least every other day. whole 1 pound bag of peanut M&Ms and bag of Oreos with my French vanilla ice cream. I was an absolute sugar addict. And I can tell you today, I don't even crave sugar. Never. Not one day. I never crave sugar. And that is a miracle for a guy that was a sugar addict like me. So, but in 88 days, listen, every person in the sound of my voice, you can change your life in 88 days. And can I just address the elephant in the room? People are saying, this sounds too good to be true. This sounds too good to be true. I totally get it. But I would challenge you, you go look on the Better Business Bureau, you go look on Trustpilot for 29 years, and all you're going to see is this: A+, Better Business Bureau, 4 and 5 star reviews on Trustpilot with people that say, this sounded too good to be true, but this changed my life. Some people spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think our world record is some guy spent $500,000 trying to cure his back pain. But he completely reversed on this protocol. This 88-day protocol has done what stem cells couldn't do. People that flew to Mexico spent $50,000 on stem cells, but then they regrew their cartilage in their hip, canceled their hip surgery, regrew their cartilage in their knees, canceled their knee surgeries. And again, you could look on our website, hit testimonials. There's a drop down of pretty much every disease you could name. And we have hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, because we do have tens of thousands of real clients. And you can see these miracle testimonies of these people that this is what transformed their life.
If I can also add to that, people like yourself who are on major platforms, I mean, that's also proof in the pudding as well that, hey, people are taking you seriously, and there's a reason why you have a ongoing buzz. So that's that. My next question is, a lot of our viewers, our listeners, they may find themselves trying different supplements and workouts, and they still feel like they're stuck. They might be practicing the buzz phrase, box breathing as well, but they may not feel like they are still pushing the needle forward. What's missing in that piece that you see over and over again with your clients?
Oh, great. Again, great question. So listen, there are professional athletes, professional sports teams that when they realize this science, no, this is what they're missing. This is what they're missing. So again, I have NBA teams, NFL football teams. I'm not going to name drop who they are, baseball, because their injuries are soft tissue injuries. It's just imagine their muscle is like beef jerky, but if you would hydrate it, they wouldn't tear the muscle. You just put that healthy hydration and it becomes flexible, like Stretch Armstrong. And now the muscle doesn't tear, but if it's beef jerky, it tears. And again, I'm not saying this to show off. I'm just saying this to inspire people. I'm 65 years old. I just set the world record for chest press. I did 555 pounds 14 times as a senior citizen. There were guys in their 20s there trying to set the world record. And every guy couldn't get 1 rep. One guy got 5 reps. I got 14 reps, and that guy looks way better than me. You know what I mean? The guy's way more muscular and all that. And, but he looked at me and said, sign me up, man. Sign me up for whatever you're doing. This is the missing piece. This really is. Listen, there are hundreds of doctors on our protocol, hundreds of medical doctors on our protocol. They point their finger in my face and they say, John Jubilee, you cracked the code on health and wellness. And why? Because you are teaching people what we all should have learned in med school. You are going to the root. You're not dealing with symptoms. As doctors, we're trained to deal with symptoms, but you're going to the root cause and you're pushing all the inflammation out of the body. And where there's cellular hydration, you cannot have inflammation. And when you have no inflammation, you have no sickness, you have no illness, you have no pain, you have no disease. You have optimal health at the cellular level because you're going to the root cause. And just a word to the wise, guys, everyone that's trying all the supplements, I did the same thing. If you don't have intercellular hydration and you don't have transformed cells like a sponge, that's just expensive pee. because all those supplements are going right in your body and right in your toilet. Like your urine is expensive that you have because it's all going in the toilet. But this really is the missing piece. And I do want to quickly tell people, this is a fully medically approved. This is a patent pending science. This is fully medically approved. HSA, FSA, Care Credit, finances this. And this is the only medically approved program in America that has a 100% money back guarantee. Now think about that. You could spend $50,000 on stem cells. They're never giving you your money back. You could spend tens of thousands of dollars on surgery. If it works, if it doesn't work, they're not giving you your money back. But we have a 99.1% success rate for 29 years. And we wouldn't take people's money unless we transform and change their life. So we really put our money where our mouth is. We know what we teach really works, and we believe this is your answer. We do believe this is your answer. You say, what's missing? No, intracellular hydration, based on tens of thousands of real people just like you, we believe this is what's missing for people.
Once again, listen to Refocus Radio, watching us online and listeners on radio. You're watching us. Make sure you go to irefocusradio.com and catch this episode and go to our guest that we're talking to today. John Jubilee's website is energizedhealth.com. Again, that's energizedhealth.com. My last question, if you squeeze a little time, you have about 4 minutes. It's going to be a long-winded one, but I want to ask this before we wrap up, is looking back over 25 plus years, what has been the biggest lesson you've learned about what it really takes to live an energized, transformed life, and also being able to do that with great people on your team, like your wife, that is part of this whole company as well?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. So, hey, listeners, pull out a pen, write these down, because I'll give you 3 golden nuggets here. I'll give you 3 golden nuggets. And by the way, my wife is a rock star. We do this together. And my wife is so fun. She can make science entertaining. So go watch our masterclass. When you click on energizedhealth.com, click that red button, watch a masterclass, book a call, guys. We have no salespeople. But number 1, write this down. So what? Now what? So what? Now what? It doesn't matter how many things you tried. I tried stuff for 10 years. It didn't work. So what? Now what? Don't beat yourself up over the past. Have a so what, now what attitude. Number 2, just do the next right thing. Life is about one step at a time. Just do the next right thing. So after you listen to this podcast today, what's the next right thing to do? Well, if you have a health issue or you've been trying to overcome something, the next right thing to do is go click on a website, watch a masterclass, book a call. That's your next right thing. There's always only one next thing to do in life. Don't look at 10 things. Don't look at a week down the road or a month or a year. No, do the one next right thing. Do the one. And then the third thing, guys, don't trip over the simplicity. Most of the most spectacular things in life, it's the simple things. It's your daily habits that determine your destiny. It's not some, super gigantic event. No, it is your daily habits. Setting your alarm to go to bed on time. Yeah, you heard me right. Not to get up. No, set your alarm to go to bed on time. If you go to bed on time, you'll always get up on time. And then have your healthy daily routine. What are the healthy things you do on a daily basis? And this is what we really teach and preach at Energized Health is let us help you learn healthy daily habits that just become healthy daily habits. You know what's great about a habit? Most people think of habits like smoking or drinking. No, think of a good habit. If you get into these tiny little healthy habits, you'll never get sick. You'll have high energy. You'll be able to live a full and amazing life. It's about, don't trip over the simplicity, guys. Learn that if you want to have a powerful destiny in life, you want to have really your best life, it's all about the tiniest little daily habits to have your greatest destiny.
Well, with that, been listening to Refocus Radio and watching us online, talking to our guest for today. That is John Jubilee. Go to his website, energizedhealth.com. Again, energizedhealth.com. And like we tried to say on the show, one homework assignment, share this with one friend. That's it, one person. Even if it's on accident, post it on social media because it does wonders. Like always, to our guests, want to say to you, thank you for your time.
Thank you.